Hey, this is Ryan from 60 Cycle Hunt, the Guitar Podcast. Today I'm going to have some fun with the Boss slash JHS JB-2 Angry Driver. That was a big jumble of words and letters and numbers there. This thing is a bunch of fun. It's a Boss Blues driver and a JHS Angry Charlie in one box with some really cool blending and combination options. So let's just get right into it. Here is the blues driver sound. I'm using a Squire Bullet Mustang HH. The blues driver is a Boss classic. It's a great, gritty, crispy, nasty standing overdrive with a lot of low end that you can dial in to balance that out. It has a really nice gain dynamic for light picking, and then when you dig in, you get a lot of extra drive. Let's check out the JHS Angry Charlie setting. It's also got a pretty nice gain dynamic to it, but it's got a much more mid-present EQ character compared to the blues driver. It's just got that mid-push that the blues driver is missing. The blues driver's got a lot of high end, a lot of low end, but not a lot going on in the middle. So combining these two pedals gives you some really fun options to fill out the holes that are missing in each. You could use some more high end on the Angry Driver. You could use some more mids in the blues driver. Let's check out these combinations. So first off, you've got your Boss and your JHS settings up here. On the JHS setting, the LED is red. On the Boss setting, it's blue. Right here, that setting is for using the foot switch, which I don't have, which allows you to jump settings, on the fly, basically. But we're going to get over into these mix settings. So first off, we have got the JHS going into the blues driver here. That just sounds heavy and nasty and kind of like hair metal-y. Pinch harmonics for days with that setting. You take two mid-gain setting overdrives or distortions, whatever you want to call them, and you stack them, and it's going to get gnarly pretty quick. Let's check out the sound of the blues driver into the Angry Charlie. You really get the benefit of the mid push from the Angry Charlie when you have it on this setting. So if you're looking to jump out of the mix among a bunch of other instruments that are a little bit more mid-scooped or are on the low and the high end of the spectrum and you're sitting in the middle, that's really a great setting. It's one of those settings, I always have this trouble with tube screamers. They don't sound good at home, but then you get in a band mix and they just cut. I have a feeling this setting is going to cut in a band mix. And then let's move on to the parallel setting, which honestly I think is the most compelling. And honestly, one of the big reasons to buy this pedal rather than just buying a blues driver and an Angry Charlie. So let's check it out. There's just a really complex, lush quality you can achieve in the parallel mode. You get all the lows and the brights of the blues driver, and you get that mid push from the Angry Charlie, and they're all combining together, and they're not stacking on top of each other. It's not more gain, it's just a richer gain. And there's a lot of creative things you can do around this. I'm just going to fiddle around. I don't know if I'm going to land on any magic settings, but I'm going to show off kind of some concepts you can play around with in the parallel setting. And then I'm just going to play this out. There's no reason to keep fiddling around and get into the depths of this thing. You're going to want to figure it out yourself, honestly. So I'm diming the gain on the blues driver, pulling it back on the Angry Charlie, and then turning up the tone on the Angry Charlie and turning it down on the blues driver. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's get some more tone on that blues driver. It's given like a tube screamer style drive where you've got this sizzly, bright distortion that's underneath a clearer, mid-pushed, lighter drive sort of sound. And that sort of thing is just really going to work in a band mix. Yeah, I think that sounds great. Let's try reversing that and see what it sounds like. I have a feeling this is going to be really bright with the tone up on the blues driver. Not bad. It is pretty bright, but I mean, there's a lot of tonal options here, a lot of just tweaking you can do to find your unique, perfect sound. This thing is a creative dream come true because you can really let loose with this thing. I mean, 6 knobs, 2 different drives, and then a selector switch that gives you a bunch of options. Let's try doing some hot and cold with the JHS into the blues driver. And something to remember here is that when you do this, the level of the gain stage that comes first is like an extra gain knob, so you can just blast off into the craziest high gain sounds. Let's max it out. This is going to be nuts. We'll set the EQ to middle. Oh man, the feedback is just out of control when you do that. Let's do a more normal setting and mess around with some bright into dark stacked settings here. So here it is with a bright Angry Charlie stacked into a dark blues driver. This is a dark Angry Charlie into a bright blues driver. That's pretty bright. There's a lot of high end on tap in that blues driver, so let's pull that back. I mean, you can hear from these few examples that the Angry Driver is just a medium to high gain tone tweaker's dream come true. This thing is nuts. There's a lot you can do, a lot you can play around with. You can get yourself into some really dangerous, noisy, feedbacky territory, or you can pull it back, get some really lush, medium gain overdrive out of this thing. I think it's just a blast. I think it's really worth its price point, and it's worth checking out if you want to do something different with overdrive and you're a fan of the Blues Driver or you're a fan of the Angry Charlie and you want to combine them. I don't know. That's what it does, right? All right, let's do some playing. Thanks for watching. Do all the normal YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, dislike, send links to your mom, send them to your dad, your aunt, your uncle. The whole family's going to love it. I guarantee it. All right, thanks for watching.